All right, today we're talking about neighborhood pools in Mid-City Savannah. I'm Allison Harris with the Harris Home Team, and if you're thinking about moving to Savannah, or if you live here and you're trying to figure out something fun to do for the summer, this video is for you. One of my favorite things to talk about is neighborhood pool culture in Mid-City Savannah, because Savannah is hot in the summer. I mean, like really, really hot. And one of the things that makes some of these older mid-city neighborhoods so special is that they have these classic neighborhood pools that have been around forever. They have a vintage feel to them. It's kind of like that 1960s or 70s neighborhood summer vibe. I always think back to the movie Stand By Me and the kids riding their bikes all around town. That's kind of what it feels like. It's the kind of place where kids are really living their best lives. Neighborhood pools, they have lifeguards on duty. They have snack bars, swim teams, kids riding their bikes, and families spending their whole afternoons and evenings there. What's especially cool is that with these pools, you don't necessarily have to live in the exact neighborhood to join. So when I lived in Ardsley Park, I joined the Kensington Park pool, and there's a lot of cross-pollination between neighborhoods. So today I want to talk about 3 pools specifically, and they're really fun in Mid-City. So we're going to talk about Kensington Park pool, the Magnolia Park pool, and the Mayfair pool. And I'm also going to let you hear from a few local kids because honestly, they might be the best experts on what makes a neighborhood pool great. So one of the reasons I love these pools is that they tell you so much what it feels like to live in this part of Savannah. When people are relocating here, they usually just ask about price point, commutes, flood zone, schools, all that boring practical stuff. But lifestyle really does matter too. So if you have kids, grandkids, or you like to swim laps, or you just like the idea of an old school neighborhood feel, these pools are such a fun part of summer in the Mid-City area. There is something really special about a place where the kids can ride bikes over, they can jump in the pool, grab a snack, run around with their friends, and then come home completely worn out. And honestly, worn out kids after a swim day is a huge win. So let's start with Kensington Park. So what's kind of cool about Kensington Park is that pool you cannot see from the street. You go down what looks almost like a driveway. There's this teeny tiny sign, and then it opens up into this big field area. It feels tucked away. It's almost like a secret neighborhood summer spot. The pool itself is fenced, and then there's also a park and playground area. So it feels like more than just a pool. It feels like a place families can kind of settle in for the day. So when our kids were small, we were members there, as I mentioned earlier, and one of the things I've always loved about Kensington is the rhythm of it. So they do 10 minutes of adult swim every hour, which creates a nice little break for the kids. They all rush over to the snack bar with their coins, and they buy a popsicle or ice cream. They have chips and treats and drinks and all kinds of things. And people will even bring their dinner and eat poolside while the kids keep swimming. And it's such a specific kind of summer memory, and Kensington definitely has that feel. When my kids were small, I would meet my girlfriends there, and the kids would just wear themselves out, and we might play cards on the side of the pool and eat dinner and all kinds of fun stuff. Another thing that makes Kensington especially practical is that they offer a lot of different types of memberships. I have a sneaking suspicion the other pools do too, but the Kensington Park website is very, very easy to navigate, and you can even pay for your membership on that page. The other ones, you're going to send an email and you're going to get a membership application back by email. You're probably going to be sending in a check or doing something along those lines. So it's really nice. There's actually a PayPal option on the Kensington Park page. So they have memberships anywhere from a week-long grandparents membership if your grandkids are in town for just a visit, all the way up to family memberships, including single person memberships or single parent memberships. There's even a senior membership. So as I mentioned, their website is really user-friendly and you can pay online, which is nice. They do some fun events there too, and it really becomes part of a summer routine. So I'm going to throw it to Sam. Sam is one of my favorite kids in Kensington Park. I live in the area, so I know him well. And we're going to find out what Sam has to say and what he loves about the Kensington Park pool. Take it away, Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm a member of the Kensington Park pool. So what I love most is, it's right next to a creek where we can play in. How can you not be excited about a pool? So, the snack bar. We have drinks, Gatorade, water, sodas. Snacks, we have cookies, chips, some like corn dogs, some like little burgers.
Is there ice cream?
Yes, there is.
Tell me about the ice cream.
Let's see, there's drumsticks, ice cream sandwiches, also known as Fat Boys, ice pops.
When you're playing in the pool here, what is the best part?
The diving board.
Do you do any tricks off the diving board?
I mean, I do the pencil, but instead of going like straight down feet first, I go straight down head first.
Like a dive?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is why you should be the member of the pool. It's fun, kid-friendly. There's a creek, it's a pool. It's one of the few pools that still has a diving board. And it's all out just a fun experience you should try.
My favorite part of the Kensington pool is the diving board and the ice cream.
All right, well, now that you've gotten to meet Sam, we're going to talk about Magnolia Park. So Magnolia Park is also called the MBF pool, and that stands for Magnolia Park, Blueberry Hill, and Fairway Oaks. Fairway Oaks is a neighborhood that's kind of sandwiched between Kensington Park and Magnolia Park, and it seems like those folks sort of belong to both pools, whichever one is more convenient or you like better. So this one also has an old Savannah neighborhood feel. It's the kind of pool that feels really established, familiar, and really family oriented. There's always a lifeguard on duty, and one of the fun details is that they just got a new diving board, which I know is really a big deal if you're a kid. They also offer swimming lessons, which is a nice option for families. And if somebody wants more information about memberships or lessons, they can reach out by email. If you Google the Magnolia Park pool, all the information is available. Though their website doesn't seem to have any pay options on the site, I think you're going to have to email to get all that information. Another detail about Magnolia Park that I just love is that people are known to have pizza delivered to the pool for dinner. And I guess in the era of Uber Eats, you could have just about anything delivered. You could do the same thing with Mayfair or Kensington Park because they all have street addresses that you could put in for delivery. And that just seems like a really fun summer night. And that is exactly the kind of thing that makes these neighborhood pools feel special. It's not just about swimming, it's about the whole experience. It's the kids playing for hours, visiting poolside, dinner showing up, and everybody just stretching summer out a little bit longer, which is so nice when it's light out longer later. And again, it's one of those places where you can get classic neighborhood summer energy. So if you go during the summer, you're probably going to see bikes lined up, kids running around barefoot, and families who've been coming there for years. And that is what makes these pools so charming. They're not flashy, they're just woven into the rhythm of everyday life. So let's talk to Charlie. He lives in Magnolia Park and he's been a member of this pool for a couple of years. Let's find out what he likes best about it.
All right, Charlie, where are we?
At the Magnolia Park Community Pool.
What do you like so much about the pool?
I love diving off into the deep end.
Off the side or off the diving board? Or
Off the diving board.
Can you do tricks off the diving board?
Yeah, front flip, and when my parents let me, back flip.
Ooh, nice.
I like doing the moonwalk off the diving board.
Nice.
I like eating the snacks in the snack shack.
What snacks do they have there?
Doritos, popsicles, that sort of stuff. Fritos, Cheetos. One of the lifeguards, when I dive off of the diving board, sometimes if it splashes him, he lets me have a popsicle. And when I swim all the way back and back without putting my head up out of the water to get air, he also gives me a popsicle.
Nice. Are there ever any parties or special events at the pool?
They do a lot of events out in the field,
Oh yeah, like what?
like neighborhood parties and that sort of thing.
Anything else you want to say about the pool?
Not really. It's really fun.
Nice. All right. See you later.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Charlie. So let's talk about Mayfair. So Mayfair is a little bit different. Mayfair has their own swim team, and that makes it especially fun and unique. If you know anything about neighborhood swim team culture, then you already know that it becomes a big part of summer life. The kids are practicing, families are gathering, they have swim meets, and the pool just becomes more than a place to cool off. It becomes really a part of the neighborhood identity. So the Mayfair pool is a private pool, and it's for Mayfair, Mayfair 2, and Heatherwood residents, but they do welcome families from other neighborhoods to join, which is awesome. Their website also does not take online payment, so that's going to be another one where you send it an email and you're going to get the application back, and then you'll make arrangements to drop off a check or do something along those lines. And even if you're not thinking about the swim team specifically, there's just something really special about a neighborhood pool that has that kind of active summer energy built into it. It's one more example of how Mid-City Savannah has these older neighborhoods with really great character and awesome community traditions that have been around a really long time. What I think is so special about all three of these pools is that they're really good examples of what people mean when they say they want neighborhood charm. A lot of times people moving to Savannah are comparing newer neighborhoods with amenities against older neighborhoods with more character. And this is one of those examples where Mid-City really shines. These pools are not giant resort-style amenity centers, and in some way, they're better. They feel personal, nostalgic, and they're really social. So they have lifeguards, snack bars, swim team, diving boards, kids on bikes, parents visiting poolside, and the sense that people have been making memories there for generations. And in a city as hot as Savannah, that's not just charming, it's genuinely useful. I think back to my childhood, and it's places like that where I met my best friends and where I had the best summers. So if you're trying to picture what family life in Savannah actually looks like, these neighborhood pools are one of those details that really matter. They tell you something about the community, they tell you something about how people spend their summers, and they tell you something about what makes Mid-City Savannah feel so special. If you want more videos about Savannah neighborhoods, family life, and what it's like to really live here, make sure you subscribe. And I would also love to know in the comments, do you have memories of a neighborhood pool growing up? Are there any other local pools we should check out? If you're considering a move to Savannah and want help figuring out which neighborhood might fit your lifestyle best, reach out to us. We would love to help.